Hey, 7th grade history, it's Mr. Barnett, and I'm on my back porch again. I wanted to talk to you about, and I think some of you may have read it, but it requires explanation. There's a thing in there called the Whig Party. Now, that's not W-I-G, fake hair you put on. That's not what that is. It's W-H-I-G. And what the Whig Party was I remember I've told you that the conservatives or the Republicans are looking for smaller government, and the Democrats and the liberals are looking for bigger government, and we're trying to solve problems by using either small or big government. The Whigs were kind of somewhere in between. They took what was called splinter groups. There is in politics what is known as single issue voters. So, you know, the Green Party is a good example of that. The Green Party really is about using green energy. Now, do they really care about foreign policy? No. Do they really care about economics, either at home or around the world? No. Their one issue is use green energy, which is great, but again, you can't always unite those people. So the Whigs decided they would unite people, and the one thing that they were united behind was their opposition to Andrew Jackson. They didn't like Jackson at all. So anybody, whether Republican, Democrat, or whatever, who was against Jackson, all of a sudden became a Whig. And so it's like, wait a minute. Now, the problem with the Whig Party was, remember we talked about that the Republicans are on the right and the Democrats are on the left. The Whigs were kind of all over the place. So they had no identity. So that was a problem for them. Now, the one Whig who actually got elected was... Let me look at my notes. William Henry Harrison. Now, William Henry Harrison was born in Virginia, but let's be honest, he's from Ohio. And what have I always told you about the presidents from Ohio? They're all bad. Well, William Henry Harrison, this is how bad he was. He actually got elected president, and he was inaugurated in January. Okay? Now, in January in Virginia, right outside of D.C., where D.C. is in Virginia. In the middle of January, it can be cold. And so he actually had an inaugural address. He got up and had a speech for over 2 hours in the freezing cold, and he caught a cold. And the cold turned into a pneumonia. And William Henry Harrison, even though when you go to Disney World, he's in the Hall of Presidents, he was president for 31 days. So he died. So John Tyler, who was his vice president, became president, and then John Tyler got a new vice president. The problem was, because Tyler was a Whig, he didn't have any support from the Republicans, he didn't have any support from the Democrats. He was kind of a man without a country. Even most of the Whigs didn't like him. And so and if you read in section 4 of chapter 10, you can see that there were lots and lots of problems. So he didn't get along with Congress at all. So he didn't last long, okay? But that's what the Whig Party was. There were only a couple of people who were from the Whig Party, and then after that, it pretty much died out. So there are no more Whigs today. Pretty much Democrats and Republicans. Then again, those single-issue voters, taxes, abortion, nuclear weapons, Green Party, those are the single-issue voters. And they still exist to this day. They tend to get lumped into either Republicans or Democrats. We're not starting a third party. At least not at this point. Anyway, I wanted to give you that so you had something to work from. Finish up section 4 of chapter 10. Do the additional questions. Do the review. And then next week we'll take the test. And we'll jump into chapter 11. And one of the things I'm really excited about chapter 11, we'll be talking about inventors. I love inventors. Inventors are people that look at the world and go, I don't think this is working for me. What can we do to make it better? And so I love those people. So we get into chapter 11, we'll talk about inventors. But if you have any problems or questions, certainly send me an email and we'll get back to you as quick as we can. Patience. Keep in mind I'm getting hundreds of emails. So I'll do what I can and we'll work together and we'll make it happen. You guys have a great day. Looking forward to seeing you soon.